$4.78, James, for one little pot with a green bean in it. So, hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. We've traveled down to Sweetwater, baby. Hey, Sweetwater. We've been to the Rural King. They got in a trailer of hay. We are trying to get ahead of spring and of next fall as much as possible and get as much hay put up as we can. We have our own personal, well, I guess you'd call it fear. What else can you call it? That it's going to get really expensive. And so every opportunity right now that we can grab a trailer, a little, 20, 30, 40 bales and put them up, that's what we're doing. We're trying to stay ahead of the curve. And we're sneezing because we've been, excuse you, achoo. I've already sneezed 4 times because we've been, packing the hay up here. I'm going to have to say that I love Rural King. We've done a lot of videos on Rural King. And we go to different locations. We go to Sweetwater, we go to Maryville, Knoxville, just wherever what they've got or what we need to get, whatever. So we travel to all of those. But I'm going to have to tell you right now, it is looking pretty rough. Now, I'm not blaming Rural King specifically for what I'm about to talk about, because this is just what's going on everywhere. I've been to several different places. You probably have too. Lowe's, Home Depot, the co-ops, different things, because people are starting to take gardening serious now. We're pushing, we're not gardening yet, but a lot of people are. It's still too early for your tomatoes and peppers and all of those things, but people are looking, people are shopping. And have you seen the prices of items and how they're being sold to you? Have you looked yet? So what I've started noticing, and this isn't surprising, you're just going to have to, if you're going to be buying potted plants to put in your garden, I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't done so, you need to shop around, because they are ridiculous this year. I'm sorry, I have a very difficult time paying $4.78 for one little pot with a bush bean in it. Now, it's nothing personal against Bonnie Plants. It's nothing personal against Rural King. That is just the sign of the times that we're in, and is a red flag to, you have got to start learning and knowing how to do it yourself, because I don't see how the average person can afford to put in a row of beans. So this is what I'm saying. We have been planting from seed for years. We have seed saving videos. I admit to you that there are some things that I will buy from local sources, but I usually, if I do, like last year, I bought my tomatoes and planted them, and I bought them as, 6 packs. So if you told me that I was going to get 6 plants for $2.98, which is, or something like that, I'd be like, yeah, that's okay. That's reasonable. But when we're talking about one tomato plant, when we're talking about one bush bean, I don't care if it's heirloom or not. So what I'm saying is buy your seeds, try to get heirloom seeds, please. And I'm telling you, not only should you plant these items, to garden and put food on the shelf as much as you can, but I am strongly urging you to seed save. We have been talking about this for quite some time, and a lot of you, please comment below, share this video, because this is pretty important. Because if we move into a further food crisis, it's going to push people to want to garden more. That's a good thing as far as them wanting to be proactive. The bad thing is, like I said, are they going to be able to afford it? So we're talking about, I mentioned this in another video earlier, they're coming out trying to ease you into saying, okay, well, inflation is 7.9%, and now others are coming out and saying, well, that's what they're telling you, but actually we're looking at about 13.2%. I'm going to argue with you all day long that it's higher than that, because again, You don't have to be a banker. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to be an economic guru. All you've got to do is get in your car and head down to a local co-op, talk to a farmer, go to Rural King, go to Lowe's, and walk around the gardening center and look at how much things are. You can get out right now and you can go to rural communities. Can you see that? You probably can't. People are expanding their gardens, but these are gardeners that have been doing it for years. Oh, here's another one. So these folks, they seed, I guarantee you they seed save. These people have been doing it for years. They understand how important it is. They understand how expensive food is. They understand how expensive all items across the board are getting. But guys, you can buy a pack of heirloom right now in most cases and on good heirloom sources. You're probably going to be able, I'm going to hit a bump, we're going over a bridge. You're going to be able to get a pack of heirloom seeds. I don't know, you may get them for $2.99. And depending, and be looking at the sizes in terms of ounces, because that's going to determine how many seeds you get. But my gosh, if you right now get just 12 to 18 seeds for $2.99, you're still doing better than what's down here. And if you put those in the ground this year and you baby those plants and you take some for you, and then you put, if you just seed save a third of your harvest, you're going to have, you will double the amount that you can plant next year, if not much further than that. I mean, it just depends on what all it gives you. But I'm telling you, we're going to hit a bump. You have got to not only put the seeds in the ground this year, but you have got to be seed saving. Because there's no justification for this. Again, it's not personal against businesses, because, you know, I've talked in videos before recently, and somebody, just one or two people, they kind of got a little huffy with me because they thought I was putting down the business. No, I'm putting down the situation that we're in, because first of all, we shouldn't be in this position, in my personal opinion, and we can go back and argue many points on that over the last 2 to 3 years. But let's just say, for the sake of this video and to make sure that I've said what I mean and that you understand it, I'm not putting down any type of retailer. They're having to work a lot of times with what they can work with, what they can manage with. They can't put things on the shelf if they can't get it from their from the main sources. They can't put things on the shelf if they don't have workers, because, you know, people have been basically rewarded for not working. And so you have a total breakdown of foods, of the food supply, the supply chain, the ability to get the items, to get them to the consumer. And so when you have a breakdown all across the board, it affects everything. We've already talked about fertilizer. We've already talked about all the different shortages that we see to help the farmer, the things that farmers need. But the bottom line is what can you do? This is where we bring back, I try to circle back and bring it back to you. You are going to have to be proactive. Okay? In order for you to put enough beans in the ground to make it worth your while, a row of beans, you're talking about how many would we put into just one row of beans, Jay? I mean, we can go through pounds of seeds, can't we? Just to feed our family. You have to understand how many plants, how many seeds does it take to fill a spot, and how big does that spot need to be in order to feed one person in a year? Much less, let's say, a family of 4, not including anybody else that's going to be saying, can you help me? So my advice to you again is to be thinking ahead. Today's April the 10th, 2022. You probably have already kind of planned out what you're going to be doing. I'm really encouraging you again on this video. Please spread the word. Please get your own seeds. Plant with your own seeds as much as you can. You need to try to put away the items so that you can with them and eat and all of that. But really, the first 1 to 2 years, 3 years of you gardening is really about learning. And honestly, at this point, it needs to be about seed saving for the future. I keep stressing to people, while you can go and get food on the shelves and put them away, and hopefully still can mostly afford, if you can find what you want and like, you have these options still, do so, okay? But in terms of gardening, yes, put your gardens in, but be preparing for next year, 2023, because what's it going to look like then? $4.78 for one little potted bean? I mean, with inflation right now, 6 months, next year, I mean, it could be, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? I mean, what are we gonna do here? Seed. And I'm gonna try to link in some books, at least my favorite seed saving book, because people are asking in the link below, Seed to Seed. And it is my favorite seed saving book. It's very good. There's different sources. Beans, for example, are very easy. Beans and corn, it doesn't get any simpler than that, okay? And we'll be talking about that. But folks, shop around, be thinking, be planning ahead. And we'll see you on the next video.